Food experts in Nepal feel that the country is headed towards an unprecedented food crisis in the face of the southern neighbors putting a ban on the export of rice. The country requires just over 5 million tons of rice annually to feed its population, while the estimated paddy harvest this year is just under 4 million. The shortfall every year is fulfilled by import from India. Experts have therefore called for strategies to tackle the food crisis scenario and not let it spiral out of control. Good evening, I'm Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. The Supreme Court directs probe against cabinet members as well in the Lalita Niwas land scam. Authority handed to Nepal police in the 100 kg gold scam. The government gears up to ask permit to import 1 million tons of rice to tackle the prospective food crisis, urges India to lift the ban on rice export. At least 30 people killed and scores others injured in a train accident in Nawab Shah, southern Pakistan. Rescue teams continue to pull trapped people from mangled wreckage. And Sweden shoot out defending champions America from the FIFA Women's World Cup. The Netherlands blank South Africa 2-0 to advance into the quarterfinal. The Supreme Court has directed the government to probe cabinet members if their involvement in the Lalita Niwas land scam is suspected. A joint bench of Justices Anil Kumar Sinha and Kumar Chudal gave the directive while announcing its verdict in the infamous Lalita Niwas land scam. The directive has paved way for launching a probe into cabinet ministers who had played a role in transferring the Lalita Niwas land in the name of private individuals between the Nepali years 2066 and 2069. Then Prime Ministers Madhav Kumar Nepal and Baburam Bhattarai would also be investigated now. Prior to this, the corruption watchdog CIAA had dropped the case against Nepal and Bhattarai, citing lack of jurisdiction. The joint bench gave the verdict today while hearing a habeas corpus writ filed by former government employee Yogaraj Paudel, who was arrested on charges of involvement in the scam. The Nepal police have now been officially entrusted with the responsibility of investigating further into the 100 kilogram gold scam. The Department of Revenue investigation today handed all the necessary documents of evidence collected from the alleged culprits to the Nepal police. The Department of Revenue investigation had confiscated the 100 kilogram gold already cleared from the Tribhuvan International Airport Customs on the night of 19th of July last month. The department proceeded with the investigations as it arrested 18 individuals in a period of exactly 18 days, suspecting these individuals' involvement in the gold smuggling nexus. The department has now handed the responsibility of further investigation to the Nepal police, citing the involvement of internationally operated criminal groups. The 18 arrested individuals comprise of 1 Chinese, 1 Indian of Chinese origin, 1 Belgian also of Chinese origin, and 14 Nepali nationals, including the Tribhuvan International Airport custom officials. The arrest of Dawa Chiring, the Belgian of Chinese origin, was expected to give way to more revelations regarding the owner and the mastermind. However, the desired breakthrough has not been achieved. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had taken personal initiation to hand over investigating responsibility to the Nepal police. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal will be embarking on a visit to China in the 3rd week of this September. Minister for Foreign Affairs N.P. Saud today informed about the Prime Minister's China visit in September. Speaking at a program to mark the digitalized verification of the police clearance certificate through online, Foreign Minister Saud informed about the Prime Minister's preparations to visit the northern neighbor. Minister Saud also claimed that important achievements were made during the Prime Minister Dahal's visit to India 2 months ago. Foreign Minister Saud also stated that there should be a common understanding among political parties and concerned sides regarding the country's foreign policy. He also added that it would be in the interest of the nation and the citizens if international relations is observed on the basis of national benefit and interest. After the leadership of the CPN Maoist Center was badly criticized at the Central Committee meeting, citing that the party was at the verge of a split, the party has decided to reach the grassroots levels through its 3-month campaign. After concluding the 4th Central Committee meeting of CPN Maoist Center today, held in Kathmandu after a gap of 13 months, Party Chairperson Pushpakamal Dahal directed central members to make the party strong and reach the homes of the public with a new message. Dahal also announced that he would also reach 7 wards of 7 provinces in the door-to-door campaign during the 3-month campaign. More than 200 party members had put their views on the organizational and political report presented by Chairperson Dahal at the Central Committee meeting. Furnishing answers to the questions raised by the central members, Dahal said that all the party leaders, including himself, needed to do some what he said soul-searching, and directed members to convey the message to the public that the government had initiated positive works. The meeting that extended to 5 days has decided to hold the party convention in December and a special convention in April. Bishambar Prasad Shrestha has taken the responsibility to lead the Supreme Court from today by taking the post of acting Chief Justice. Shrestha, being the senior-most justice, was nominated to lead the Apex Court after Chief Justice Hari Krishna Karki retired from his post yesterday due to age limit. Prior to Karki becoming the Chief Justice, he had led the Supreme Court as an acting CJ for 16 months after an impeachment motion was registered at the Parliament Secretariat against then Chief Justice Cholendra Shamsher Rana on February 13, 2022. Karki held the post of the Chief Justice for only 50 days. Although there is a constitutional provision that the Chief Justice should be nominated a month prior to the post becoming vacant, there was delay in holding the meeting of the Constitutional Council. However, the Council finally recommended senior-most Justice Shrestha for the post of Chief Justice last Thursday. After the recommendation reaches the Recommendation Hearing Committee, it will request for complaints against Shrestha and give 10 days for the hearing process. After that, those who registered the complaints would be summoned for discussions, and on hearing day, after the proposed Chief Justice Shrestha presents his plans, he will be nominated the Chief Justice. The process from hearing to the appointment by the President will take at least 2 weeks. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked people in several provinces what should be done to facilitate citizens' access to justice delivery. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
न्यायालयले समान हिसाबले काम गर्नुपर्छ, त्यसको लागि कसैको पनि दबावमा प्रभावमा धनी गरिब पक्ष विपक्ष नभनिकन
बिचौलियाहरूलाई अदालतमा प्रवेश निषेध गर्नुपर्छ।
सुनवाई अलि मतलब के विस्तारमा नगएर तारिखमा तारिख गरेर छिटो छरितो गरिदिनुपर्छ।
कसैको दबाव प्रभाव बिना नै न्यायालयले आफ्नो किसिमको फैसला गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ।
भ्रष्टाचारलाई निर्मूल गर्नुपर्यो।
सहज पहुँच अभिवृद्धिका लागि सबै पक्ष गम्भीर हुनुपर्छ।
बिचौलिया प्रथाको चाहिँ निर्मूल भयो भने न्यायमा आम नागरिकको सहज पहुँच हुन्छ।
न्याय कहाँ पाइन्छ, कसरी पाइन्छ, सरकारले हामीलाई पनि सिकाउनु पर्यो।
पछाडी परेका वर्गहरूको चाहिँ न्यायमा समान पहुँच हुँदैन, पिछडिएका वर्गहरू लगायत हरेक महिला दलितहरू, त्यसको लागि चाहिँ खास गरी उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ आफ्नो हक अधिकारको बारेमा सशक्तिकरण गराउनु पर्यो।
नागरिक आफै पनि सचेत हुनुपर्छ।
विगत ठाउँमा गएर जनचेतनामूलक कार्यक्रमहरू गराएर
प्रत्येक वार्डमा चाहिँ मेलमिलाप केन्द्रहरूको स्थापना गर्न सक्नु पर्यो।
Nepal is to request India for permission to import additional 1 million metric tons of rice to address the possible food crisis. Although Nepal produces 5.5 million tons of rice annually, around 1 million tons has to be imported. After the government expected the rice production in the country to decrease amid a poor paddy plantation in the Tarai region this year, it decided to import rice from India to meet the demand. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce and Supplies is preparing to request India to lift its ban on the export of rice and increase the quota of Nepal's import. At last week's meeting of the Central Monitoring and Evaluation Committee led by Chief Secretary Vaikunta Aryal, discussions were held to address the possible food shortage in the country. Minister for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Beduram Bhushal, had also requested the Indian ambassador to Nepal last Thursday not to implement India's decision to halt the export of rice in Nepal's case. After India imposed a ban on the export of rice 2 weeks ago, traders have exorbitantly raised the price of rice in the Nepali market. Meanwhile, traders have also been urging the government to facilitate in the import of rice, wheat, maize, among other food grains. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, why is the government indifferent towards checking the quality of items being imported in Nepal? 15% voted for A, unclear policy, 5% voted for B, lack of budget, and 80% voted for C, irresponsible government. Here's today's question. What could be the reason for lesser number of female ward chairpersons at local levels? Your options are A, not mandatory, B, indifference of parties, and C, lack of public pressure. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's now time for the international update. At least 30 people were killed and over 100 others injured after as many as 10 bogies of Helvellyn-bound Hazara Express derailed today near Sahara railway station in Sindh's Nawab Shah district, 275 kilometers away from Karachi. Accidents on Pakistan's decaying rail system are common, and successive governments have for years been trying to secure funds to upgrade the rail network as part of China's Belt and Road Initiative for infrastructure projects. Benazirabad Deputy Inspector General of Police Yunus Chandio said that 9 out of 10 wrecked bogies had been cleared, with injured and deceased being pulled out. He said that the remaining bogie needs heavy machinery to be cleared. The reason behind the train derailment remains unknown. People on the site and local authorities have shifted the wounded passengers to the People's Medical Hospital in Nawab Shah, which reportedly can cater to around 1,000 people. The train, comprising 17 bogies with a capacity of 950 passengers in its economy class and 72 in its air-conditioned standard coach, went off track on its way to Helvellyn from Karachi in district Sanghar, the senior superintendent of police said. He said that 10 station house officers, 4 district superintendents of police, and more than 100 police personnel are participating in rescue work. Federal Minister for Railways and Aviation, Khawaja Saad Rafiq, during a press conference, said someone could have deliberately caused the accident, and it could also be a mechanical fault. A large number of cops personnel from the police training center are also present for relief work. Pakistan Army also joined the relief activities at the site of the accident after special instructions issued by the Chief of Army Staff General Asim Munir. Ambulances have also reached the site, where medical aid and food are being provided to the rescued passengers. Leaders of the bloc of West African states known as ECOWAS have agreed on a plan for military intervention in Niger unless coup leaders restore civilian rule today. West African military chiefs have agreed on a plan for a possible intervention in Niger as a Sunday deadline approaches for the country's military to restore civilian rule. The Economic Community of West African States, known as ECOWAS, met in the Nigerian capital Abuja on Friday. Abdel Fattah Musa, the bloc's Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, explained that it is an operational decision that will be taken by the heads of state. Last Sunday, ECOWAS gave the military junta that toppled elected President Mohamed Bazoum in the July 26 coup 1 week to restore him or face the potential use of force. Bazoum remains a hostage of the junta. On Thursday, a delegation of mediators from ECOWAS left the Niger capital, Niamey, without meeting the coup leader, General Abdourahmane Tiani, the former head of the Presidential Guard in Niger. The French Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it regrets what it called an authoritarian repression being imposed on Niger. Niger's junta has vowed to respond immediately to any foreign intervention and has been holding Bazoum and his family in his official residence in the capital, Niamey, for 9 days. We have more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break.
शिवम सिमेन्ट भरोसा अटुट सम्बन्धको
जगदम्बा सुपर साइन तथा ग्याल्वा प्लस जस्ता पाता जीवन भरको
Sports News.
There is a Nepali interest in the Global T20 Canada as the final is being played between Surrey Jaguars and Montreal Tigers. Nepal's spin ace Sandeep Lamichhane is playing for Surrey, while all-rounder Dipendra Singh Airi is playing for Montreal Tigers. In the second qualifier played last night, Montreal Tigers defeated Vancouver Knights by 1 wicket in a thrilling contest. Surrey had defeated Knights in the first qualifier to advance to the final. In the final currently underway, Montreal Tigers have elected to field first after winning the toss. When the report last reached us, Surrey Jaguars had scored 85 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in 13 overs. Some more changes in the schedule are likely to occur in the ICC Men's World Cup being played in India later this year. Bengal Cricket Association has urged International Cricket Council to change the schedule of Pakistan versus England group match. England versus Pakistan match is scheduled for 12th of November in Eden Garden, Kolkata. However, the Bengal Cricket Association has raised security concerns as Kali Puja is performed with much fanfare in Kolkata on the same day. The October 15 match between India and Pakistan is already expected to be shifted a day earlier due to Navaratra festival in Gujarat. The upcoming World Cup is being hosted by India from 5th of October to 19th of November later this year. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.